and I think we'll perform there. But and I've performed with them a few times. They're a great orchestra. They just, like all orchestras, they're having a hard time with their business.
Yeah. So what about this a cappella era that we're in? Are we in an a cappella era?
We are, and I think we are in a redistribution of musical wealth era as well as other ways. And as usual, I believe that music and art are well ahead of the curve of the rest of the real world. And I think what a cappella tells us is that if you look at a cappella music and how many a cappella groups there are in colleges and how it's been going up and up and up and up in popularity, and how music education has been having, it's been like symphony orchestra with funding and everything, it's going down for the moment. It's squeezed like we all are, and it's more difficult to have a well-rounded education, especially in a public school at the moment. But I think what you see is kids are filling that gap and doing it themselves. A cappella groups don't have a diva in the group usually. They're groups of people that are working together well, and they're teaching themselves voice leading theory and arrangement. And I think it just shows you that when I came up, you had to have a license and a record contract basically to be, a professional music performer. It's a big deal. Now, I think with a cappella, what you see is how many people there are that are more talented than we are. I went around and recorded a cappella groups. Basically, just got into a van. I made a record called a cappella, I guess, University or something like that, or something like that.
25.
We just recorded a cappella groups at colleges, and they would nail it like second, third time. And it's like boom. Now, I got a lot of criticism from people who regularly record a cappella groups because it wasn't in tune enough, and oh well.
Oh well. Right.
Sorry.
One more question. Where's our mics?
We can get we should get one female question.
Yeah, one.
Because I try to split that back and forth.
Hi, my name is Jade. You were awesome.
Thank you.
First off, I'd love to say that you have been a huge musical influence to me ever since I heard Whatever and Ever, Amen, probably like in the late 90s. I was probably like 5 or 6. So thank you for that. My parents think you're awesome as well. But my question is, do you have one or maybe a few musicians that were very influential to you on your journey?
Well, there was my band teacher, Chick, who I mentioned, who was a big deal. There was a guy, I don't know who this guy is, and his name I think was Randy Reeves. He was a jazz piano player, and he taught a little masterclassy thing, and it's the only thing that ever happened like that in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And he came through, and I saw him play, and we learned some from him. Anyone that I listened to growing up, Andy Kaufman, I've always thought is a big influence because Andy Kaufman was a comedian, I guess, sort of, but there was an element of surprise with what he did, and that had a big influence on me. Obviously, you can't be a kid in that era that plays piano and not be a fan of Elton John and Billy Joel, who I obviously have to be. But those two guys have both become really awesome mentors for me. Over the last 10 years, I can call them up, write them, ask them, what'd you have for dinner, dude? They're very helpful, and if you're lucky, I mean, that's one of the greatest things in my career is that people I listened to growing up are still out there doing it. Amazingly, you were 5 years old, and I was actually grown up and doing it. It's amazing to me to be standing on stage jamming the other night with Peter Frampton, and it's all there. It's like, wow, I didn't think 2014 and that was going to be the case. And, who knows? It's crazy.
So, can you play us out?
Play us out. Well, I mean, I think I would sing you out, but talking would require a little pain medication, which I hope didn't show in my speaking performance, because I just did this big oral surgery thing where they drilled a hole in my jaw yesterday, so I'm not supposed to be up and walking around, but I can see if I remember any of Maple Leaf Rag. I'm not singing that thing. You'll have blood on your microphones. Okay. I don't know if it freaks people out when the piano's on wheels and it's a different height than they're used to, but that's really weird. Okay. I didn't know you were supposed to play it like that. All right. Let's see. What was this? I'm not saying I can actually play this song. I just mentioned it, so I thought I would see if I could. I learned this when I was 9 years old, and I played it too fast in my recital and got low marks for it. The other thing I played in my recital was one that went like this. Which I played about that fast and got in trouble because it was supposed to be, I think. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's a Schaefer and Sons, except no imitation. Let's see. I could play you 2 seconds if you don't tape it. No one's taping this because it's supposed to be a surprise when I play the concerto. I can play you little parts of the themes that I can actually do. The second movement's the easiest thing in the world. It can be played with one finger. I won't do that. Let's see. Closing the second movement sounds something like this. I have to practice for the next month before I can actually do it. You guys probably think I really suck on the piano because what I just played was just crap. I'm used to sitting around going. Yeah, so that's what happened.
Oh dear.
Probably goes, how does it go? It kind of goes like that, you know, but that's, you know, any requests before I
Narcolepsy.
Ask Crack Bandit.
Ask Crack Bandit. Anyone know that song, Ask Crack Bandit? No? That's a song I just wrote for the TV show Community last week. It's really good. Someone said, yeah, that narcolepsy is a good. I wrote that. Basically, most of the theme of that came from like a 2 or 3, 5-mile walk in this like one of those loops paths in the woods, you know. And I just imagine gongs and everything just going nuts, and just would be pedaling on this. That's it. That's the thing. And I thought, what is this about? And I remember my uncle was a narcoleptic, and he used to drive his car into churches and stuff, sleeping. He didn't select churches. It wasn't music. Okay, he didn't actually do that. He went up the steps of a church once, but it occurred to me that narcolepsy, because if he got too happy, he'd go to sleep. If he got too sad, he'd go to sleep. If he laughed too much, he'd go to sleep. If he got excited. And it occurred to me that was like compression. If any of you are audio engineers, it's like audio compression. It's like I can only remain like this. Can't get too happy, can't get too sad. And then I realized that almost all males of my age had emotional narcolepsy. Wouldn't have a discussion if it got too far either way. You close down and go to sleep. So when I should warn you, I go to sleep, thinking that at the beginning of a relationship, this guy is saying, I need to warn you, now it's a lot of fun, but I may go to sleep. And then there's a big riff that I put all in my concerto, which I can play for you. Anyone can do it. It goes like this. That's just an arm on the and you should see him notating that stuff. There's some stuff that we're doing in the concerto that I can't wait for people to see. The notation in order to do it is unbelievable. It's really a lot of fun, a lot of instructions, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Anyway, thanks for asking for me to play piano, and I'm obviously playing like some kind of old drunk. So that's. I would be happy to play the riff from another song but I can't sing to prove that I can actually play and take requests.
Landed,
I can do that.
Was that? How inspiring was that? Now, be sure the NAMM show is just about to open, but if you're a Gen Nexter, be sure that you pick up one of these cards and that you go